Damn,
Wowie.
Sean, leave the room. I got
know.
some business to attend to. Please. Why have times changed so much? It's stuff like this that makes people want to be super rich.
Then you can just frolic and enjoy being in love.
I know.
Thank you to HUEL for sponsoring this video. More on them in just a bit.
Citizens of Regé-Jean. We are here today to watch Bridgerton episode 6. Listen, we're going to try our best to do 7 and 8 back to back. All right. We know. We're trying.
Okay.
We're trying to keep up with it. And it's only going to get way busier in end of February with all the shows that are upcoming. So we're going to try our best to at least do a couple of these back to back. There's only one episode a day. John, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm ready to get Regent. I'm feeling, high class. How are you?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm wondering. I hope this is the episode we learn who Lady Whistledown because watching so many things at the moment. I'm forgetting stuff. But yeah, Lady Whistledown.
Well, everyone's got multi-component, multi-syllable with like honorifics and title. There's just a lot to keep in mind.
There's a lot going on. Anyway, let's find out what's going on in this episode called Swish. We're gonna play basketball.
Beautiful.
Dearest gentle reader, I must send felicitations to the new Duke and Duchess of Hastings
Oh, it's different now.
as they embark on the most exhilarating time in a young couple's life.
Honeymoon?
I am, of course, talking of the honeymoon.
Ooh, I've never been on mine.
One day we'll get
One
you
day.
there.
Only been a few years married.
Little Red Bridgerhood.
Ugh. What are we, peasants?
To retreat from society together, finally leaving watchful eyes behind.
Welcome to Cliveden, Your Grace. It has been so long since we have been blessed with your presence, but I trust you will find everything to your liking.
I do not doubt it, Mrs. Coulson. I hope you have been well.
Agent Coulson.
I have planned everything to make you both comfortable. First, a light meal served on the terrace, then a tour to show you all the improvements I have made.
Ooh, improvements.
I want to show you the bedroom.
Yours or mine?
You truly believe we are to have separate rooms?
Wow, yours, mine, ours. Oh, they're so sweet.
Perhaps we might find solace in the promise of the Duke and Duchess returning to us, bearing a surprise.
I wonder what Daphne's doing at this very moment.
Consummating.
Yes.
I'm sure she has many new duties to attend to as Duchess.
I would like to make a small but rather important announcement.
Oh, no.
I have happy news to impart.
No, it's not.
Not to everyone.
I have asked Miss Marina Thompson to be my wife, and she has accepted.
Oh, no.
Did you know about this?
People are looking, dear.
Act like you knew.
Congratulate the happy couple.
He got a haircut.
You barely know the young lady. What on earth were you thinking?
I was thinking you would probably respond like this, and how little I would care to hear.
Do you think this is a joke?
Eh?
Poor mother was beside herself.
Mother seems perfectly happy to me. She congratulated us.
Because there are people around.
You compromised this young lady?
Certainly not. I'm a gentleman.
Then why ever would you...
Why does anyone marry, brother?
For love.
Look, I know you were still rather green, and that is my fault. I should have taken you to brothels when you returned home from Eton.
Whoa.
Simply a matter of wetting your wick.
You really are an ass. Do you know that?
This is what comes of not sowing your wild oats. Proposing to the first chick you set your cap at.
Enough!
Oh.
That's why I tell all children to go to brothels as much as possible.
Yes. You're coming of age now.
You are still a child, Colin.
I'm older than Daphne, and you were happy to marry her.
It is not the same, and you know it.
I know nothing of the sort.
Then you betray your immaturity!
Oh, boy.
The truth is, I do not require your permission to marry Miss Thompson, but I would very much prefer to have your blessing.
Then I'm afraid I must disappoint you.
You have.
Oof.
In more ways than one.
Jeepers.
One of those ways being, I don't like your new haircut.
Yes. My barber is 10 times better than yours.
It's far too short for my liking.
I believe I now know the reason why every mama of the ton keeps her daughter in total darkness about certain diversions.
Entanglements.
Should they have told us what it was truly like? However, would we get anything else done at all?
So the men must wet their beak as much as possible,
Yes.
but the women must be virgins?
Yes.
Time to be Duchess of all of this.
Why
I
have
must stop
times
learning the
changed
lies of
so
the land.
You are already Duchess of all this.
But I suspect Mrs. Coulson shall always resent me if I do not take her tour.
There's no other time we can do it.
My mother told me a lady is nothing without her housekeeper. I must make a good impression. And nothing in this house shall run smoothly.
Yeah, man, we still live in the time and place we live.
I have prepared the study for you to work, Your Grace.
Jeffries, I am on my honeymoon.
The steward has left the records in some disarray.
Oh.
Very well. If I must.
Yes, 'tis your duty as Duke.
My mamma suggested I extend an invitation to the vicar first. I believe she is right.
Of course, Your Grace. I took the liberty of offering it patronage on your behalf.
Perhaps we might give the servants some time off to attend as well.
There is much to be done now that the Duke and yourself are in residence.
Uh-oh.
Even more reason to allow them some respite then.
Yes, Your Grace.
Is that?
The former Duchess.
She was beautiful.
Thoughtful, too.
I wish she was here now.
Perfect Duchess.
You are judgmental. Daphne's like not paying any attention.
And here is the nursery.
Which will be put to good use.
Yeah, wow, look at that rocking horse.
It's lovely.
Oh, but she'll never get.
Should we move on? I'm certain there is much left to see.
Yes, of course. Let me show you your grounds.
Are we expecting royalty?
Begging your pardon, Your Grace, the late Duke preferred a formal
The
table.
early Duke likes it casual.
Mrs. Coulson's tour today was exceptional.
Wow.
The gardens are particularly lovely. I found myself in continual awe of their beauty.
What?
That distance is very much felt.
You're so far away.
Yeah.
Well, that is easily remedied.
Oh no.
It is no trouble, truly.
Everyone's gonna explode.
Yeah, their systems are about to malfunction.
There now. Much better, yes. I would hate to change anything you are particularly attached to.
Then you may change it all. In fact, please do.
Now, do not jest. You must have fond memories.
Nah, bro.
After all, this has been your home for many years.
Do what you will. Paper the drawing room in flamingo pink tulle. I'm sure I shall love it.
Do it.
You do know you need not dress so formally here.
Those are my eating gloves.
This is a fun house.
Your Grace, should we go upstairs?
Let's do it right here in front of all the servants.
Where are we going?
Out!
We're going to a pub.
See, it's stuff like this that makes people want to be super rich.
Yeah. Then you can just frolic and
Look
enjoy
how-
being in love.
I know. All the money with very little work.
So then being caught in the rain just doesn't matter because nothing matters. Except decadence. Oh yeah. There we go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes. There's that romance novel cover. Let's go.
Oh my god. There was like barely any sex in the first few episodes.
I know.
We are going to town right now.
This show has always been billed to me as like super steamy, so like yeah, learning what its version of this looks like been fascinating.
Does that hurt?
I feel as you feel. Absolutely wonderful.
No, that's the same hand you were using to
Why not, man?
No. Damn.
Wowie.
Sean, leave the room. I got
know.
some business to attend to. Please.
I'll learn when I'm older. This man is an exhibitionist for sure. Oh my. This must be the most fun house to live in for people not in charge, at least.
Apologies, Your Grace. Our activities are quite spirited. I admit, I did not even know it was possible. I believed his physical inability to have children would preclude him from...
Wow, you are sharing this?
I'm like, how much do they already know?
Should be sharing that.
I'm quite glad to say I was wrong.
was a very charming back and forth.
Colin, your engagement is in Whistledown.
Hyacinth.
Uh-oh.
It is.
Very well. Everyone else, I think.
I did say I was sorry.
I suppose I ought to be relieved I found out before Lady Whistledown.
Mm-hmm.
I have been courting Miss Thompson all season. Perhaps you were so taken up by Daphne you failed to see it.
I knew you were flirting with her, but you flirt with plenty of young ladies. You always have, never in earnest.
Until now.
It is all happening so quickly.
I feel like everything happens here so quick.
I'm not sure I've ever seen you so solemn and serious.
No one ever takes me seriously, except Marina.
Oh.
I was not prepared to let another of you fly the nest so soon.
Have a fear, Mother. You will still have your hands full.
I'm sure all of our fortunes are about to change.
Especially Colin's.
Oh my God.
You look very lovely today, Penelope.
Do not mock me.
Ouch. Do not mock me.
It pains me you should think every compliment a mockery.
Do not pity me either.
I do not pity you, Penelope. I respect you.
Do you?
You have been a true friend since I arrived here, and I rely on your continued friendship and sympathy.
By continued silence, you mean?
Oof.
You think so little of me, I cannot bear it.
I would never bring scandal on you or our family, if that is what you ask. But I cannot condone your actions.
My queen.
Can you not try to understand and be a little pleased for me?
Marina, time for the modiste. We must see to your trousseau.
So lucky. A whole new wardrobe and a handsome husband.
Ugh.
You will look so very lovely with it pinned up next season.
No, I will look like every other young lady in the room, except less graceful and more bad-tempered.
Call me Violet now. I insist.
Oh, is this not just delightful? To know now that our families will be joined forever.
Forever.
You must join us tomorrow night. You and dear Colin and the Viscount. We've so much to celebrate.
Well, I will certainly ask the Viscount.
I do apologize, Lady Featherington. But first, there is a matter of your account. I was clear to your maids at your line of credit.
Allow me to stop you there.
I called the bank.
As soon as you've made Miss Thompson, soon to be Bridgerton, her gown, and the other items for her trousseau.
Perhaps you might find another tailoress more to your liking across town.
Yeesh.
That reminds me, you have such a unique accent.
Oh, shit.
Ma mère était française, vous savez.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Je n'aimerais pas que le Notre-Dame de Bonton soit encore ici.
Ah.
Well, I will be somewhat more amenable to our requests now, Lady Featherington.
Damn, Marina, you just got a lot hotter, too.
Très bon. That was pretty badass French.
I just love a smart woman.
Yeah.
And what is the prize for the winner?
Why, slaughter, of course.
Blah.
It is after careful consideration that I've decided
That we are going to do it in front of the pigs.
Oh, no.
that all three pigs have tied.
That's not fun.
I hereby decree every pig such a winner that none should be slaughtered.
Wow.
Even as a vegetarian, I'm disappointed.
You're no fun. Let us murder.
They look lovely. Look at those.
Look at
Why,
all
these
these
are delicious.
babies.
We must order some fried them.
I like the pies. I want a little pie.
The harvest on the farm have been poor. With the rents being tripled, we're struggling to put food on the table.
The rent's tripled.
He hasn't shown his face since your father passed.
Uh-oh.
He always gave his tenants what they needed, unlike some.
Then it is a good thing indeed that we are back at Cliveden.
Yeah.
Sure we can find a solution to these difficulties. And I thank you for bringing them to our attention.
Your Grace.
But for now, we're late for a very important date.
We need to do it.
Yes.
Again and again.
And again.
And hopefully we will not forget this conversation.
Us doing it more will bring abundance and fertility to the land.
My, you have a strong set of lungs. They shall hear you all the way in London, if not all the way to France.
My goodness, I must apologise, Your Grace. Little Ada has just discovered her own voice and likes to use it as often and loudly as she can.
Well, still, she must be punished.
Oh, please stand. You should not be stooping in your condition.
For a second, I thought she was going to say you should not be
Is he
stupid.
liking this look of her as a mom? I don't know.
I think he's just, yeah. He's worried about the whole thing. What if she likes it? What if I like it?
I hope it did not pain you too much to see me with those children.
I thought only of you.
You know, oddly enough, when I'm actually in the presence of children, I forget all about my own concerns.
You are natural with them.
You know, my abundant family will be good for at least one thing in future. Eventually, they will all marry and have children of their own. And...
I'll be a cool auntie.
It thrills me that you are satisfied with our married life as it is. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
I have all that I want just here.
How did I earn such luck?
That I do not know.
Thank God I have a wife who completely believes one thing.
This plan of yours, I find it wanting. Deceiving Colin is one thing, but being at close quarters with his mother, that is quite another.
Woof.
Lady Bridgerton is shrewd. She has had 8 children. Trust she knows when she's being managed.
Woof.
Oh, Penelope be playing. Penelope be playing.
Have you travelled at all beyond England, Miss Thompson?
Never. I'm sensing a honeymoon in foreign parts.
Oof.
You might even make the most of this fine weather that we've been having if you choose to marry sooner rather than later.
Go.
Colin is still very young. I believe a lengthier engagement would be prudent. Excellent weather notwithstanding.
I thought you didn't want to interject too much.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, what can the matter be? Oh, dear, what can the matter be? Johnny's so long at the fair.
My soul's leaving my body.
Does not seem like this is quite your register.
It's a rather delicate matter. I wish I did not have cause to raise it, but I believe you deserve to know.
Is there something on my face?
I have wanted to talk to you since the engagement was announced, but we've always been in company.
So this is something about Marina?
Yeah, boy.
Her heart belongs to another.
What?
His name is Sir George Crane. He's a first son, a soldier. They grew up in neighbouring properties in the country.
Oh.
I have seen their love letters. I felt you should know before it was too late.
Oh, boy.
You really are very good, you know that.
Aw.
Do you think that I would care if she had fond feelings for another before we met? It would be rather rich of me, considering I've flirted with half the girls in London at one point or another.
You misunderstand. This was no mere flirtation. Marina loves this man. She loves him still.
And yet she's marrying me. Do not fret.
Have we moved the party to the corridor?
You know, it is peculiar. But the further I get from that pianoforte, the more like a party it feels.
My own father does not want me. Even the Featheringtons cannot wait to be rid of me. Fool that I am, I truly thought that with your family I might finally find acceptance. But it is no use. Even your mother is just being polite.
That is not true. I am your family now.
Damn, Marina's hair looks amazing.
Yeah.
It is all I want in all the world. I wish we could be married this very minute. Then we could be alone together always.
Damn. I thought Marina was crossing the line. I mean, Penelope. But now I'm like, Marina's...
What if I told you there was a way?
Colin, what?
Scotland, Gretna Green. I know it is mad, but we could be married within a matter of days.
No, buddy. Oh, buddy.
You hate the idea?
I love it.
Allow me a day. I shall arrange everything.
Yeah, it's like the whole surrounding situation is bad for everybody, and everyone's just trying to, like, do their best desperately in sight of it.
Marina is manipulating him.
Yeah, I mean, she's in a dire situation. It's like, I sympathize. But also, yeah, if we're doing all this for love, you know.
Colin's a victim, though.
Yeah, he's just a pawn in game of life.
Are the steward's books, I take it?
Good night's sleep.
Not even after last night's exertions.
What'd they do last night?
I couldn't even begin to guess.
Well, is that not the steward's job?
They are my tenants, my people. The responsibility is mine. Please excuse me. I've been staring at these figures all morning.
You're gonna sound like your father.
Well, I suppose I have a good deal to occupy myself with today, too.
You know, I mean to visit some of your tenants. I might deliver some gift baskets and...
Wow, he's really not paying attention to her.
Dude, you can take, like, a second.
I will have someone gather those on your behalf. One of the kitchen maids or the gardener.
Oh, there is no need to trouble anyone, Mrs. Colson. We have it all in hand.
Yeah.
Do you intend to collect honey from the hives in person as well?
No.
If you simply tell me of your wants and needs, I will ensure everything is in order. I will ensure everything is done properly.
Oh, it's more about that.
Yeah. I'll make sure you have all the free time in the world to do almost nothing because everything is already done.
Faith, she despises me.
She despises everybody. Do not give it another thought.
Next time she plays the piano, that lady's going to pop up and be like, I will have someone play the piano for you.
Basket from Cliveden? Oh, a basket from Cliveden. There's...
What's going on?
Mamma taught me it was tradition for the new Duchess to visit with gifts.
I believe it is proper.
Should I have worn a different dress?
These people don't care about that.
Hey, that same kid.
A little later.
There is bread and honey for the children.
Oh, I would gladly take one if I had means to carry it home.
Then we are determined to walk with you.
Oh, no, I
insist.
Aw.
I feel that I have done something to offend the village. I know I'm new to the role, but I cannot imagine what I have done wrong so soon.
It's not you, it's the whole thing.
It was the pigs.
It was you.
You said that all 3 pigs won.
I thought it the best outcome for everyone.
Oh.
The winner is allowed to supply pork to Cliveden for the next year. Oh, it's a great number of pigs indeed. When you could not choose a winner, no farmer won the contract, nor the income to go along with it.
Oh, snap.
I had no idea.
Your decision paralysis is ruining this town.
Well, you have to behead that woman now.
Yeah, she spoke truth to you.
My mother taught me a great deal about being mistress of a household, but I'm not sure either of us ever imagined a house as grand as this one.
It is grand.
I'm so very grateful for your guidance, Mrs. Coulson.
Aw.
His childhood was not always easy.
Do you mean to say that Simon grew up here on his own?
Oh, we did our best to take care of him, to mind him as his mother would have wanted.
Of course you did.
Oh.
The late Duke must have loved his wife very much, to have struggled so after her death.
Hey, you know nothing.
I don't know about that.
It was strained. He wanted an heir, she wanted a child. She kept trying long after the doctors warned her not to. Every month when her courses came, it broke my heart to see her.
Oh, man, that's rough.
She was lucky to have you.
Oh, yeah, she cares so much about Simon, huh?
It's not always the woman who is barren. Sometimes it is the man's fault, of course.
Sure.
Dear, I'm afraid I'm speaking out of turn.
No, not at all, Mrs. Coulson.
It's good shit for me to know.
I said to the Duchess what my mother said to me. A womb cannot quicken without strong, healthy seed. And then, just as she was finally blessed with Master Simon.
Ah, shit.
Why are you not dressed? I told you we were dining with Lady Gardside this evening.
Right on cue.
I'm not feeling well.
Right on cue.
Yeah.
She has been withholding a dinner invitation from me, and now look, not a day after Miss Thompson's announcement, and they all come crawling.
Enjoy your evening, Mama.
They all come crawling. Oh.
What's the plan, Penelope? Come on, let's get this done, man. Let's get this done, Penelope.
Yeah, pull the secret candlestick and reveal the
All right,
schematics.
look, I'm all in. I don't care how fucked up it has to get. All right, I am here to win.
About mind games,
right.
violence,
whatever it takes to win.
Footlocker. Oh boy. In the escritoire. So you should repack all that shit up. Oh.
All them letters. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Penelope, what are you...
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Look at the signature on Sir George's last letter and this one.
Oh, shit.
From many months ago.
Oh, shit.
She's gonna... I hope she doesn't think this is a forgery.
So they are not the same. The slant of the lettering, it is all wrong. This one. It was in the drawer in the back of Mama's desk. They practiced George's signature, but even they could not get it perfect. That last letter, the one where he broke your heart.
That's some CSI shit.
George never wrote those things to you.
Please believe her. Please believe her.
I am correct, you cannot deny.
Even if it is true, George has still not replied to my letters.
I thought you loved him.
I was a fool.
Wow. Woof. Oh,
I'm just tortured.
The evidence.
What will you do when Colin realizes the child is not his?
He would never turn me out on the street. He will care for us both, come what may.
But what of him? What of Colin?
Yeah.
You love him.
What?
No shit. God damn it, man.
Your objections, your meddling, you love Colin Bridgerton.
Oh, no.
I believe I know so much more than you, Pen.
Oh, no.
Do you?
Of Colin, of the world.
Yeah.
If I am to be the executioner of this childish infatuation, then so be it.
Wow.
Your love is an unrequited fantasy.
Ooh.
Colin sees you as you are and regards you no differently than he does Eloise.
Oh.
Woof.
He sees me as a wife, a woman. And as a woman, I must make these difficult choices for myself and for my child.
You got a point.
Even if they hurt your feelings.
I feel like Colin should have a say in this.
These books seem to have taken possession of you.
Those people rely on me to make a living.
Dude, that bow tie is crazy.
I should not have stayed away so long.
Why did you?
No particular reason. I met this impertinent young lady with a right hook, like an Eastern prize fighter.
Hey.
Simon.
Daphne.
It's okay to have a conversation, guys.
No, this is how they talk.
I feel like this time when he pulls out, she's going to take notice.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating.
I'll meet you in the dining room.
Oh, she's going to take it to the lab.
Yeah, get it tested. Your seed is just fine. Put this seed in me now.
Your Grace, what is wrong? You should have run for me.
I need you to tell me something, Rose.
Oh, shit.
How does a woman come to be with child?
Your mother...
No, my mother told me nothing.
It doesn't seem like a lot of them do in this time.
Please.
Hell, even now.
No embarrassment.
Oh, yeah, there's like a limited sex education then, huh?
Yeah, if at all.
It was such a simple solution. We can increase the harvest if the farmers plant in the wheat.
Ugh.
The pig.
Baby pig. Aww.
That would be such a shitty truth to contend with.
Yeah.
Are you ready for bed, my dear?
I believe I am.
That coat, I want it. I want a cool little lantern to walk through the house with.
He does love her.
Well, that's part of what makes it so difficult.
The love is in action, you know?
And it's like something like this can, you know, get in the way of like a million other things that do work between them. You know?
I think she's going to force him to not.
Force him to not.
She's going to make sure he stays in.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Pull out, pull in.
Oh, no, look. You guys can't see what's happening on screen, but you know what's going to happen on screen. Oh, no. What's going to happen? Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Daphne! What did you do?
I'd hoped it was not true. I'd hoped I was mistaken, but clearly I was not.
How could you?
How could you?
Yeah.
Hold you! I cannot give you children.
Cannot and will not are two entirely different things. You chose to lie to me.
I did not lie. I thought you were prepared. I thought you understood how a child came to be.
Oof.
To have a family of my own one day, you knew that was all I ever wanted.
I was prepared to die on that dueling field. Rather than marry you and take your dream away, I would have died.
Oh.
You told me I was enough.
That was before I knew you.
No. Oh, no.
Poor Simon, I thought how it must pain him to know that he will never know what it is to be a father. And I never asked for your betrayal.
Ooh.
You love me. No, you most certainly do not. You do not know the meaning of the word. You do not lie to the one you love.
Oh, boy.
Do not humiliate the one you love. I may not know much, as you have made abundantly clear, but I do know one thing. I know that is not love.
Go off. Damn.
Some battles leave no victor, only a trail of broken hearts that makes us wonder if the price we pay is ever worth the fight.
I like his little print hat.
The ones we love have the power to inflict the greatest scars. For what thing is more fragile than the human heart?
Go to her arms. Go to her. Go to her, Penelope. Aww.
The bond between man and bride is private. But I must tell you, I have learned that a grave fraud is afoot.
Ms.
What is it?
What have you done?
Whoa. Whoa.
As if the Featheringtons did not have enough to be dealing with, Miss Marina Thompson is with child.
Shit.
Oh, shit.
And she has been from the very first day she arrived in our fair city.
How did information go?
That's insane.
Desperate times may call for desperate measures, but I would wager many will think her actions beyond the pale.
Is it Eloise?
Perhaps she thought it her only option, or perhaps she knows no shame.
I don't know.
But I ask you, can the ends ever justify such wretched means?
Is it Eloise? Who knows?
I know.
There's like 2 people that know.
Yeah. She's got to be the kid from the future. They raised
the
this
only
kid.
Logical explanation.
It's that paradox where the kid writes the stuff, but the kid's born in the future, raised on the writing that they will do in the past once sent back.
That makes so much more sense now.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Bridgerton.
Yeah, because it's a bridge between two times.
It's a wormhole.
Yeah, exactly. These are being written, in modern day.
God
in
damn.
the same place.
That explains the modern day music.
That's exactly it. It's bleeding through the other side of the reality.
The whole time.
Yeah, it's just through the wall of the multiverse. Life in the Ton, man. Shit's crazy.
One thing that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, boy.
It's got to be Eloise then.
It feel like, yeah.
Or is it Penelope?
I mean, refresh my memory really quick.
It could be Penelope.
I mean, that's such a hardcore choice to make, but I mean, it could be just given the logic of who's got the intel, or maybe it's the freaking mom's conniving friend or something like that.
The amount of people I've heard say like, I managed to guess it right away. I'm like, well, shut up.
I know.
And I'll go to hell.
Yeah.
Wow,
Screw you guys.
so much better than us.
I mean, Eloise, I guess, is a good pitch because she's a writer and because
no one's guessed Penelope.
I know, it's true.
And Penelope might have just been sitting on this information this whole time.
Yeah.
And she is in the know. She is just kind of quiet in the corner, waiting.
Yeah.
And I'd be down. I support Penelope 100%.
Definitely. Yeah. This was the play.
If Penelope did it, then you know what? You gotta win, man.
I'll spare love and war. Doom that kid and her mom.
That's all I'm saying.
His mom, their mom, whoever.
That's all I'm saying. A win's a win.
Yeah, it's bonks. I mean, they do. Yeah, they draw this scenario where it really feels like she's omnipotent. So you're like, how is this even possible? How is it even possible for you to have this information?
Guys, girls, rejects, I cannot believe we are already a month into 2026. Now, last year I made this whole big goal about dropping a bunch of weight, went on a big cut, which was fun. But now this year, I want to enjoy a little bit more food and, of course, have a healthier relationship with food and my own body, as a matter of fact. It's more about maintenance and overcoming some mental body dysmorphia things that I deal with. And a big part of that has been choosing foods that are good for me while also choosing ones that taste good. And that's where something like HUEL has been a big part of that. As a matter of fact, I actually use HUEL a few times during the week during my cut, but I just haven't been able to let them go. Their black condition ready to drink is just so dang efficient and tasty. The chocolate peanut butter one is the talk of the town. If you watched our most recent live stream, we went on a random tangent talking about how this is so good. It wasn't a sponsored segment. We just had a chit chat about it. And speaking of chit chatting about it with Coy, I found this once, but this is true. I found this hidden behind a bunch of sparkling water. I was like, I need to shoot this for the ad, and I wasn't able to find it. I'm pretty sure Coy hit this because he's coming in tomorrow and he wanted to make sure no one else was able to take it while we're waiting for our reorder. I'm on to you, son of a bee. Anyway, it's a complete meal in a bottle, packed with 35 grams of protein, 27 essential vitamins and minerals, no artificial sweeteners, gluten-free, vegan, each bottle under $5, and it actually keeps me full. If I want something a little thicker, more customizable, you can also take their black addition powder. I got a whole bunch of flavors at home. I take one of these like 4 to 5 times a week. They're daily greens. Daily. I should take them 7 days a week. Anyway, it's not about perfection. It's about consistency, and they really help me keep consistent, especially when I'm too lazy to, pack food for here. Anyway, limited time offer. Get HUEL today with my exclusive offer of 15% off online with my code REJECTS at HUEL.com/rejects. New customers only. Thank you to HUEL for partnering and supporting our channel yet again. All right, guys. Well, hey, the full reaction watch along where you sync up with your own copy of Bridgerton. That's available for our Royal Rejects at our Patreon page. Help offset the copyright claims because Bridgerton and Netflix are awesome.
Love them.
And also, if you want to get a Reject Nation tee, you can go to rejectnationshop.com and get specifically the Doctor Strange shirt that John's wearing.
Yes, that's the one that matches this
or
show.
Space
the best.
Babies of the Galaxy. I know you Bridgerton fans out there.
Love babies.
You know how to dress for the show you're wearing.
Yeah, this is a very visually stimulating show.
Wow. Saw you were tearing up there, John.
Yeah, man, it was intense.
Like a
bitch.
Like a little girl.
Yeah, like girls do.
Little
girls are always
girl.
just out here crying. That's what girls do.
I couldn't tell, though, which was the thing getting you. Was it A?
Take this helpful questionnaire. Was it A?
Was it A, Daphne's pain, B, Simon's pain, C, both, D, the possibility of their child from the future heartbroken by the consequences
Definitely D.
of this moment?
I would say it is C, all of the above, but not below, because we all know that that's just the twist. So,
Yes.
I'm already, I've already coped with that reality that it's the kid from the future.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, just the is a nuance, it's just one of those things where, you can see very clearly as the outside observer that, like, oh, yes, this deceit on Simon's part is a bad call, and it is a huge, this could end everything. And it's, a big significant thing. And it's also something that they could work through. But it's just one of those, it's like he has this hugely ingrained thing that, he's adamant about. But he hasn't portrayed in the clearest light and probably has convinced himself to a degree is the way he wants to portray it rather than the way it actually is. And then, for her, it's this conversation that should have happened before that never happened because, nobody's been able to challenge him on this yet. And it just felt like a real lifey moment, of all conflicts. And granted, this is a universe where, yes, like especially like having kids as the lady of the house is your freaking job. But also Daphne really wants kids. And and she has that point of like, you didn't give me the option. We didn't get to address this. You're not living in the present of this with me. You're in the past of this with your pain. And, you can't see through that to get to me. And that was just like a real thing.
That was a real thing.
Real shit.
I like thematically how that story is like she's like taking ownership of him there, and like it's not like you just get pregnant right away, but it seems like at this time you might actually get pregnant right off the first time you go for it. There's a likelihood could be pregnant, and her having a baby with a father who doesn't want to be a father.
Yeah.
And then you have on the flip side with Marina as the main other storyline, her having a child as well, and she's in search of like having a father for him. So there's like this like fatherless thing going on here, and like this generational trauma. And Daphne's father's dead, and you got Anthony who's like constantly trying to be a father here to everyone. So there's a lot of these like random father things in this rather female-centric show in a lot of ways, and it's not like super on the nose a lot of the time.
No.
This like fatherless department, but it's very much prevalent. And I like the way that it all played out because it was so honeymoony in the beginning.
Yeah.
I've never seen a show that like, or a storyline that is about that. Like, hey, he keeps pulling out. Like, what does that mean? And I forget that, at this time they might not actually understand fully what that means.
Yeah.
That they don't have like the sexual education anywhere near as much, or it's really easy for them to miss that.
Yeah. That whole, like, what? Does it hurt?
What's
going on with you?
I forget those things. So having that as like an actual moment of conflict was a really interesting one.
Yeah. Well, and this really highlights that double standard of like, as a girl, you might never get told about any of this. It's really up to the luck of the draw and who's around you. Whereas like as a guy, it seems like by and large, unless you're isolated, someone's going to make sure you learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
Someone's going to make sure, you get like a proper education before you go out and be proper again. Like when I was struck by the casual nature by which Anthony was like, I got to take you to the brothels and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. Like I know that that's not something that they would probably want to say in public, but like between brothers, the way it was said as casually as it was in that moment suggested to me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is like an unspoken rite of passage is very common that I wouldn't have expected.
Don't think with your...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't think with that.
Yeah. Don't, man. A lot of trouble kids cause in these worlds.
Maybe that's what was interesting. The way how she was trying to learn how to navigate being a duchess here, and with the act of trying to just like do the right thing and be good and be fair and equal suddenly makes you the bad guy, and you're like, oh shit, that really like imploded on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to be nice, and then here I come to understand. Yeah, I didn't understand.
Even with like the workers, the head worker or servant. I don't know if like calling them a worker is like call what it really is, servant, or if I call them servants, like that's degrading. Call them a worker. I don't know what the right word is, honestly.
Yeah, she's the general manager.
The general manager of the Dutch, of the Duke and the Duchess.
Mrs. Coulson or whatever.
Yeah, that whole storyline. And it also like watching a little bit of how Daphne seemed to be a bit like her mom in that arena where she was able to get to that woman's emotions, like play the game a little bit to mine some information.
Yeah. And to, get hopefully more pleasant interactions moving forward or less, sort of.
It's all about manipulation, John.
Yeah, that's true. It's all the politics, man. It's all the
politics.
game. Even when you're alone on the lawn having love in front of the geese.
Well, and all joking aside, the whole Penelope Marina thing is really conflicting. But Team Penelope ultimately. That's all it is.
Screw that baby.
It is all
and her mom.
It is conflicting. Especially right down to the wire there at the very end. Like, oh, that's a really tragic, like that exposure that she had there and the shame that will be inflicted on her. Yeah. And of course, like the distrust of Colin in that moment and what that might do to them right when she was on the cusp of actually getting this. And if it was Penelope because like it has to be somehow Penelope. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah. I don't know. Like it seems like it very well could be.
There's like two people I know.
Yeah.
There's the mom and the daughters. They're not really characters. And
it would suck if it was one of the other two sisters who suck.
It's gotta be, but it's like, I think they implicate like Penelope went to Eloise. Yeah. She was like, is it Eloise? But I don't know. Would Eloise go through a whole thing of being like, I'm trying to see if you're Lady Whistledown?
I don't know. It's like Lady Featherington would be a weird pull, I think, because she got way too many problems. I feel like her friend who was helping her is not
go through all this. She's like, it's all just a giant game to me. I just want her to watch us all collapse. I'm going to work like hell to get you engaged.
Who else? Yeah. It can't be her. And her friend who is helping her isn't enough of a character. I don't know. I think you wouldn't be able to guess it. So yeah, I mean, Penelope or Eloise seem like really. Penelope has risen up the polls for me in terms of possibility.
But Penelope's also doing this in like the name of love, at least in her way, because she's trying to protect Colin and she loves Colin.
It is a desperate act, but also like to freaking, I don't know. That's tough.
But if she wasn't in love with Colin, would she be doing the same thing? Would she just be like, hey, whatever, use him?
It's hard. Like it's a really hard situation. It's weird. I guess. In a way, you could interpret that as like she tries to tell Colin. And I mean, she tries to tell... It's hard. Yeah, it cooks your brain. And I don't know, like to tell everybody that way seems like after him not believing her is the kind of only way to really put the truth out there.
Yeah.
But that would just be so savage. I don't know. It's weird. It's because like Marina's in such a terrible position that it is like, it's hard. It's like it sucks for Colin, but also given what society is like, it's like an even shittier position for Marina. So it's like nobody looks good or is there's nothing clean about this.
No.
Yeah.
But if you have to choose a side.
Like I get Marina the most in this situation because I'm like, you're just doing what you have to do friggin' in a world that's like on the verge of casting you into a really, really deep, dark hole. Colin... This is shitty for him, but like given the way society works, like, he'll probably come out on the other side fine enough minus the emotional trauma.
He'll be fine.
Which, that doesn't matter as much when you've got privilege and status and you're, the upper crust of society.
He'll be fine.
And you're a man. But, this is a very potent episode.
But then Marina even said things to Penelope that were mean. And after that,
she did.
Sorry, Marina.
She crushed her
It's
heart.
hard to feel sympathy for you right now in this moment.
Yeah, man. We're all that little girl right now just being like, I love him, though.
You're too mean. You're too mean to her.
Him, though. This was a good, Goodfellas kind of episode. The first half is all fun and games, or we're just doing it all the time. And the second half is oh no, the crash. Everything's ugly. This society is so constricting.
Yeah.
And being a duke is not just hanging out in the house all day.
No, apparently he's doing
You've got to
paperwork.
You got to be an economist and a low-key politician, and you got to be help running the town a little, or at least doing things to affect the greater population.
That job looks boring as hell.
This show is going to make you forget about the fact that oh yeah, this part of this makes me want there should be a freaking Night of the Seven Kingdoms for this kind of show, where it is just I forget that the small folk exist in this world, and then the Mad Hatter guy showed up, and I was like, oh, that's right, all you people are out here, all the rest of us are out here.
For sure.
It's funny.
Hey,
let's watch the people. Let's talk.
We get questions.
We get questions now, and have for some time.
Whose terrible idea was this?
Bride Wars.
Do we have no questions today? We only got a couple.
No, it's for 1x5.
Oh.
We gotta get to 1x6, bro.
We might not have any questions today.
Wow. How could we? Okay, here we go. We got hella questions. All right.
Amanda Hayward. Daphne and Simon have great chemistry.
Fact.
I gotta get out of here soon, guys. But massive communication issues.
Been there.
Daphne's lack of sexual knowledge because of the era, not because she's a dumbass. Meant she couldn't make informed choices. And Simon knew that. Saying he can't have children instead of won't was deeply misleading. It's a lie, is what it is.
Yes, that is not the truth.
It is 100% not
is a
the
distortion.
It's not even misleading. It is a lie.
I couldn't have been prouder than if they were based on real grades.
Maybe in his head, it's I don't know. I mean, I believe it so much that I can't. While Daphne's,
it's that I can't. I mustn't for reasons, so I can't. Yeah.
While Daphne's sense of betrayal is understandable, Simon clearly withdrew consent in that scene.
Sure.
And the show never really addresses that. How do you feel they handled that? Do you think the fallout should have been dealt with more seriously?
Ooh.
I mean,
that's fascinating. That's a fascinating question.
There's several ways to look at this. The second you do not wear, I don't know if they had condoms back then. It sounds like they didn't. The second you don't wear one,
you're running the risk.
You're running the risk no matter what.
Yeah.
Pull out or pull in.
Pull out or just leave it there. Yeah. Leave it in park.
You're running the risk, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she knew what she was doing.
She did.
And I honestly need to play the scene back a tiny bit more in my head. I don't recall if he was like, get off me. I mean, I know he wasn't that aggressive, but
it's that thing where it's like he was protesting.
He was saying, wait.
He's trying to get her to get off him at the end, but it's in that thing where he is in the throes of pleasure. So at a certain point, he just throws his head back and the thing happens. And then, it felt to me, because, it's like right on the edge of the climax moment. So it's like your body and brain are flooding with all kinds of things. So it's in a very dubious place. And that felt realistic. And given what Daphne is, it's all like, Daphne absolutely has like a point and a reason for doing what she did, but you can't argue against the idea that like, we've crested through into a whole new plane of reality where it's like now there's a kid happening potentially and we've not prepared for like the whole thing is like a mess.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never even heard of a situation like this ever in my life. Like this is completely unique to me. Because it's like, well, they were doing it, so I wouldn't call it assault. However, in that very, very final, I mean, like the second someone is saying, no, get off of me, and they keep going, then you have reached assault territory, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Just to be clear
and
on what the rules are here, that is it. So I suppose in like the heap of a few seconds, and she knew what she was doing, and she knew he wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
So
that's you can't argue.
There you go. I guess by process of elimination, she wins. So I guess by process of elimination, yeah, I guess, I mean, the show doesn't strike it in that way of like, oh yeah, this area here that you don't really think about. And maybe even back then they wouldn't really consider that as a thing like, hey, you took advantage of me, you know?
Well, and there's the double standard that,
when it's a guy, it's always like, it's always different when it's a guy, huh?
Yeah.
Even as a guy watching it, I'm not even like considering that fact, you know?
It just, the contrast doesn't strike quite as loudly as immediately because of how we're all conditioned. And
because I've been in some situations where, not this, of course, because I've never heard of this, but in situations where it's like I've had to tell people about it, and I'm like, oh, that is a thing. I won't go into it, but it is a thing where something had happened, some stuff has happened to me, and then, but because you're a guy, you're like, but should I be bothered? And then, like, yeah, absolutely, you should.
Anyone should be bothered. Yeah.
Well, but it's like when I hear from other guys, it's like you wouldn't. Yeah, so I understand, like, because even on the receiving, so it's making me question it now even more. Because I'm like, oh yeah, as a guy, I don't even like question it. But if I'm in that position, that's where the confused feelings come in, right?
Yeah,
where it's like something did happen to me. I suppose it would have been nice if they addressed it, because I even like the idea of us exploring this conversation right now.
Yeah, I do too, and I mean it introduces. It's like you have all this context to support the fact that they are very much into their sexual relationship, but the conversation once you reach that point in the act is no longer about that, and it is about his whole core wound as a character and this like huge wing of his life that has not been uncovered, and like that's a deep and difficult trauma. It's like you understand why he would act the way that he does, even if it's not the right way to do it, because it's this thing that's been ingrained for so long, and now he's living in the place that helped to birth this very sort of commitment.
His father was coming at him a lot in their dynamics.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where too, it's like you absolutely understand. It's like you absolutely understand where she's coming from and the motivation and the sort of like, well, this is the way to like fully just out the truth. But you're also meddling with like you're creating life, and that's like a whole mess of other conversations beyond just Simon's reason for lying about it, And so it is really messed up, but you can't deny that is that's a line crossed, and it's I guess a bummer that they never really would address that. I mean, I feel like the show would
just sound like a bunch of sensitive lefties.
I feel like the show will imagine that it's addressing it just by having the kids conversation and leave it at that or something. But
when they cut to 2025.
Yes, when we see
finally see the kid.
And what we realize then is that the kid that they just conceived is the future kid that becomes Whistledown, that travels back in time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all part of the greater grandfather paradox
that would be
of the
pretty
show.
Cool.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool. Found out this whole time Bridgerton was a sci-fi show.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. I don't know if I could say how they handled it right now, because it's like it just happened.
I mean, according to Amanda, the show never really addresses it.
Yeah, it's like knowing that, then that's a drag.
I suppose, but would we have thought about that unless Amanda pointed out?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's and that now I will be more apt to consider and observe more deeply for things like that, for sure.
We'll check out this next question. You thought that was juicy.
Hey, Lords Regé-Jean. Y'all
from Care Bear.
From Care Bear. Thank you. Sorry, I care about you. Y'all already know that the Bridgerton. I'm gonna start this over. Y'all already know the Bridgertons' naming convention, Alpha Order. The Featheringtons also use a convention. All begin with P. Portia, Prudence, Philippa, Penn. Question: do you enjoy naming conventions in film and TV? How do romances conventions compare to comics? Ant-Man, Batman, Spider-Man, Green Arrow, Lantern, Goblin, etc.
I prefer the fantasy versions. Like this is Aegon, Aemon, Aiden, Aegon, Aeron, Gimli,
Rhaegon,
Gimli,
Dagon.
Gimli.
Yeah. Oin, son of Gloin.
Yeah.
Balin, Dwalin.
I prefer just names that rhyme.
Yeah.
You really never know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But you have a guess. You have a good guess.
And half the time these guys are just an ensemble who's around, and occasionally one of them says something specific and he gets named. So I think a naming convention's fun. It all depends on how it's executed. Some of them are more obnoxious and more sort of in your face than others. I'm very curious.
Is that a romance trope? Is that a romance thing? I didn't know that. Because I know like comics are alliteration tropes. That's what those are. Peter Parker. Steve Stodgers.
Yes.
Sony Stark.
Yes. Well, Bruce Banner just already works. It's not.
You're not doing the joke.
Yeah, I'm not doing the joke. I'm like, which one doesn't have an alliteration? Shit. Kyle Kaner. There you go. There's a Green Lantern for you.
Who?
Qualiver Queen.
I guess there's not many alliterations as we thought
there aren't as many non-alliterations.
You just happen to think of one other alliteration.
There are a lot of them, but
name more. What other alliterations?
Okay. Clark Kent kind of counts because of
come on. Let's not go with the kind of. Let's go with real.
Peter Parker,
Lex Luthor.
We got Sue Storm. We got
Sue Storm's a good one.
Reed Richards. We got
Reed Richards. Yeah, that works.
We got
Victor Von Doom.
I feel like there are way more.
Natasha Romanoff.
That's NR. John Walker. Sam Wilson, no. Steve Rogers, no. Bruce Banner is back. Here's Bruce Banner. But even then, they changed his name to David Banner for a minute on the show.
Yeah. Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson. And now we got to look up
alliterative comic book character names.
Yeah. Now we can't pull it in. They're like known for that.
What's up with, I don't know. There are a lot of them anyway.
I guess Dr. Doom, they're going to count.
Dum Dum Dugan.
What's Doctor Strange's name? Stephen Strange.
Stephen Strange, that's a good one. Yeah.
Miles Morales, Jessica Jones, Matt Murdock. Okay, there's a lot. Rocket Raccoon, Bucky Barnes.
Yeah,
we're just gonna remember
Lois
it.
Lane.
We're gonna call Matt. We're gonna pull Matt Murdock.
Wally West.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah, come on.
Lois Lane. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of them out there. I like.
Why is that so hard?
I don't
There are
know.
so many.
I don't know. Well, yeah,
they're so popular.
Well, and they're all. It's weird because like some of them are very sort of like.
They don't sound the same. They're not the same use of the letters.
Well, there's so many of them that they just kind of blend, and it's such a convention that like you just kind of see the monolith, and it's hard to pull specific examples.
Because the letter that follows the first letter makes the first letter a different sound. Like Matt and Mur are very different.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, it's not our fault.
It's not our fault.
We don't think visually letter wise.
I think naming conventions are fun. I think this show I didn't notice them as much in this show because I was just like, oh, it's the time and place. This is just how it worked. People just named each other, very elegant.
Daphne, daughter of Waphne.
Yes. I mean, I do have a lot of fun with that kind of naming convention where you're carrying around your lineage in your titles and you're like, breaker of chains and mother of dragons and, discounter of leather seats and, freer of chickens and blah, blah, blah. I like that. So, yeah, we love a naming convention here.
Sandrak, since you both, not John, seem to have a soft spot for Penelope.
Yeah.
So the capital P. I'm curious to hear more of your thoughts about that confrontation with Marina. It is a hurtful one. And Nicola Coughlan plays it so well. Which one's Nicola Coughlan?
She's your girl. She's Penn. She's Joy in that
Sweet.
Doctor Who episode.
How do you feel about Marina by the end of the episode with her secret exposed? Well, we did touch on that, but I think that's a big part of what helps heighten it a lot more. It's very nuanced, you know. I just choose to pick a side, but it is very nuanced. Like, this show is not without its nuance, you know. Of course, of course, I completely get where Marina's coming from, and in that moment, you know, Marina's probably saying a lot of that to protect herself too. And a lot of times, people say things that are hurtful or mean, you know, like not because they are truthfully that person, but the state you are catching them in, a version of them is coming out that is not their dominant version. And perhaps in that moment, I feel like that was not that moment, but it does seem to imply that Penelope. Okay, if we don't know Penelope is Lady Whistledown, but yeah, I guess that. I mean, we talked already a lot about it. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, honestly. I should have read your question before we talked.
No, it's good. I really like that scene in general, and I really like the drawing of the perspectives because I think, at least for my taste on a first viewing, they're good at giving Penelope that sort of very idealistic, more youthful perspective where she's just kind of seeing this is all wrong and the truth should out. And yes, that's true. But also, in Marina's position, she's just in such a bad position that she's got to be in survival mode. And even if it hurts and it's, you know, painful for Pen to hear those things spoken, she's got to survive for that kid. So what are you going to do?
That's true.
Very compelling.
Last one. Jay Rushton, always with the deep questions.
What's up, Jay? Which reject would be good on a boat for ocean voyage? I think
Andrew.
Yeah. He would know all the knots. He would know how to steer the ship. He would learn all the things.
Believe it or not, Andrew and Tara would be really good at a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Tara could
Tara would be really good at figuring out what to do.
Yeah, she could rig all the sails and, get everything kind of in working order. And then Andrew can, be very precise about steering and coordinates and giving us trivia facts about which boats in which movies were kind of like the boat that we're on.
I'm really good at, moving something to make it look like I'm participating.
I'm going to creative direct the voyage.
I could, sweep.
Yeah.
Or, pick something up. If you just look intense.
Yeah.
You're contributing.
I just stand at the the front, and I just stare off with a spyglass.
Yeah,
and I just look like I'm really charting course or something.
I would just enter the room huffing. I'd be like, all right, so how can I help?
What do you need?
No,
we good?
I don't need anything right now. Okay,
Everything
cool.
good?
All right,
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm going to be over here.
I'll be on the poop deck.
Yep. Funny name.
I don't know what the poop deck is for. Let's find out before we end this video. What is the poop deck, actually?
Pooping.
A poop deck is the highest aftermost deck on a sailing ship, typically forming the roof or aft of the aft cabin. Okay, interesting.
The fuck is an aft cabin?
Okay, it's the cabin built in the rear. So yeah, it's just that uppermost, backmost deck. It's just the butt. It's just the caboose.
Where does the name poop deck come from?
Grab the mouse. I only got so much I can do here. There's this. Why did pirates call it the poop deck? Name originates from the French word for stern to pupe. Oh, it's not even fun. It's just from an actual word that means the thing it's supposed to be. Thus, the poop deck is technically a stern deck, which in sailing terms was usually elevated as the roof of the stern, aft cabin, blah, 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 blah.
How did feces,
also known as the poop cabin or simply the poop.
Then how did feces get to be known as poop?
Look
it up.
How did feces come to be known as poop? Term poop for feces originated in the early 18th century as a likely onomatopoeic children's euphemism derived from earlier words for breaking wind, like toot. It likely evolved from the Middle English poopin to make a sharp sound. By 1744, it was established as a colloquial term for excrement.
So, okay. So actually, it's wow. So it's just like a game of telephone. The way the word poop started off. So poop deck, and then kids would say toot, And then over time, they're like, "You say poop?" I said "toop." Sounds like said poop.
I'm gonna say poop. You can say whatever you want, but I'll say poop. If you didn't say it, then I said it.
And there was some baby who didn't know what to call when it was going to the crapper and was like, "I'm pooping."
I'm pooping.
You mean tooting?
No, this
pooping.
is altogether different. One precedes the other, but yeah, these are different things. We need a new word, but an adjacent word. So
this is our documentary.
Yeah. Hey, that's a lot of the for as much as there are rules to language and as much as those rules are important, we also must remember that language is a game of telephone. Yeah. Lots of words get sanded and corroded over time and turned into other similar words.
Well, guys, where do you think the word poop originates from? Do you think Daphne assaulted?
Yeah, what's your take on all these horrifically nuanced and painful situations?
Yeah. What's your favorite alliteration? Leave it in the comments down below. We'll see you guys soon.